Hello all. So today I'm gonna do a simple tutorial on embeddings and a use case using embedding. So semantic search using a model called Distilbot. So before jumping into the use case, I would like to give a small introduction on what exactly is embeddings. So as you all know, it's in simple terms we can actually tell like embeddings are just kind of like a real numbers or kind of like a vector representation of text. So it's obvious like we need to convert the text, the raw format of text into a number before giving it to a model or anything or to do any NLP operation. So for that we need to actually convert that into real numbers, text into real numbers. So before the advent of embeddings, we used to do one hot encoding. So one hot encoding is simply we are just indicating whether a word is present or not using ones or zeros. So for a sentence, we just represent like 1001, some kind of representation like that. But it truly doesn't indicate any sort of relation between a sentence with another sentence or a word with another word. Whether it's present or not, that's all it conveys actually. But that doesn't solve a lot of use cases currently. So for that, we need some kind of like a representation which conveys the meaning of a word with another meaning or some kind of like a relation matching. So that's where the embedding comes into picture. And the basic definition of word embedding is it's some kind of like a real number or a vector representation of a word. And we can say like for similar words, the vector representation will be similar. So this is a typical example based on a feature gender, king and queen, man and women. So this is one of the slide from Andrew Ng's sequential model course. It's a very good course to start with. So feel free to actually jump into that course if you would like to know more about embeddings and how the representation is made. So here in this case, he's explaining like man, women, king, queen, and apple and orange. So he is representing a particular word with respect to 300 features here. So gender, royalty, age, food, up and so on. There are like around 300 features, and these 300 features he is actually kind of like indicating it with some numbers. So gender, man is given as -1, women is given as 1. So it's opposite, and king and queen also some number, and apple and orange doesn't have to do anything with gender. Similarly for other parameters. So from this you can clearly note like so this vector representation is exactly similar to this vector representation. So we can say there is some sort of relation between man and women. So if you see here, only in the case of gender it is exactly opposite. The vector is exactly 180-degree, and in other cases 0. Here it's also 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So it's obvious that there is some relation between man and women. Similarly with respect to king and queen. Similarly with respect to apple and orange. So if you see here, apple and orange is like it's all 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and here approximately 1 basically. So it's easy to tell like if orange juice is there, then obvious it will be apple juice is also kind of like a similar one. So that's it to give a small introduction on embedding. It's a very powerful technique, and a lot of amazing use cases can be built out of embeddings. Having said that, I'm just jumping into one of the use cases using embeddings, using a model called Distilbert. So this is a Streamlit web app which is made using the Distilbert model. So here I'm actually loading a particular data which is taken from Marvel Data Store. So I just want to know about Thor's weapon. So it's it this data mostly consists of these Marvel characters, and it's a very simple data set. So if I run the extraction, then the model will run, and it is giving me. Okay, first it gave me Stormbreaker. Yeah, Stormbreaker is the second weapon when like we saw it in movies. So yep. In this sentence there is nowhere mentioned like this is actually the Thor's weapon, but he tried understanding like, okay, Stormbreaker is an enchanted axe used by Thor. Try to understand that it's a weapon. Similarly, Mjolnir. So same like it try to understand the context. Let's search one more case. So yeah, Thor's brother. It should be Loki. So this slider will actually give you the choice to select how many sentences you need. Yep. So it's talking about Loki. So Loki Laufeyson was a biological son of Laufey, a ruler of frost giants. Uh, where it is mentioned, I think somewhere it will be mentioned. Thor will be the brother of. Yep, it will be there somewhere. Or yeah, in this case, yeah, it's mentioning the brothers. So it's try to understand, and it's in fact it's really good. So it's trying to understand the context, and it's a very simple data set which I have given. So that's why we are getting very promising results as well. So now let's look how we can actually build this kind of like a semantic search. So we'll follow this Jupyter notebook, and yeah, just to give a quick intro. So here in this web app, I am using a model called Distilbird. So Distilbird is a distilled version of Bird, which is yeah. So in many ways, it is kind of like it's kind of like a downgraded version of Bird, or we can tell like a distilled version of Bird. So that's the right thing to note. And if you see the comparison, we can see it is 4 times less than BERT, the training time which is taken. And the performance is 3% degradation from BERT. It's a lightweighted model. It's this DistilBERT is called as like simple, fast, and yeah, smaller, faster, cheaper, lighter. So that's it. That's the representation given to DistilBERT.